that it's also to cut or scrape. And so, right, so it's do this.
Hmm.
It's to scoop something out. And so what do you do with scabies?
I've never had it.
Oh, thank God, me neither. But it's essentially it's a you scratch and scrape, you scrape out the
Right.
skin like this. There you go.
Okay. Okay. So archaeoscabies.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ew.
Ew. Ew. Hello there, and welcome back to another Archeo Scoop. This is the show.
Where Michelle can't open any of the articles that she brought today because for some reason Firefox is now asking, "Are you sure you want to open that page?
Uh
Are
huh.
you sure you want to open that page?" And I'm going, "Wait a minute. I had all these pages. Why are you asking me? Am I sure that I want to open these pages? Of course I do. I saved them specifically." Yes. So it is the place where we share news about history, archaeology, and the cultural sphere. And I think Mark has to go first today
Thank
because he
goodness.
found the most gorgeous thing that he just showed me, which I think everybody should see
I
or
did.
hear.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I did. This actually was at the bottom of my second article of this episode.
No,
So,
never.
yeah, that's how I came across it. And yeah, the headline is Mummy Mask with Wig, a 1,000-year-old false head, inverted commas, found in Peru that was created with real human hair and toxic red cinnabar. And she looks incredible. Absolutely magnificent.
She looks like a very nice girl.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she looks kind of how you want to feel, really.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Just
like, yeah, yeah, she's fantastic. Stylized masks like this one adorned pre-Incan mummies in Peru hundreds of years ago, says the article. This wooden mask, which is decorated with human hair and a textile headband, adorned an Andean mummy up to a millennium ago, made by an artist of the Chankay people. The mask was also painted red with the mercury containing pigment cinnabar. Not, as you
Cinnabon
say, cinnamon. No, not
to make
cinnamon.
it more delicious.
Pillsbury cinnamon rolls with Cinnabon
Mercury.
are an irresistible Sunday morning idea. Nothing calls them to the table faster.
Don't
Cinnabar.
eat mercury, kids.
Yeah, the date was between 1000 and 1450. So 1000, the year 1000 and the year 1450 for this
AD?
mask. AD, yeah, yeah.
AD?
The Chankay were pre-Incan people who lived along the central coast of Peru in the late intermediate period, 1000 to 1450. A common tradition amongst the Chankay was the funeral bundle, the end result of wrapping their dead in layers of textiles, vegetal material, and animal skin. The bundle was then buried in a pit along with grave goods such as tools, food, and figurines. And because the bodies were usually wrapped in a fetal position, this pit therefore was sort of a certain shape. However, it was not always clear exactly where the head was located once the bundle was complete. So, according to the Walters Museum in Baltimore, which has this particular mask in its collection, so-called false heads made from textiles or wood were sometimes tied onto the Chankay funeral bundles to act as a focal point for venerating the ancestor. The
And made
mask.
to look like a very, very polite girl
I know. I love
who
it.
does all her homework and eats her vegetables.
If I was starting up a new social media profile, that would be my user profile picture. I think yes,
Yes.
definitely. The mask is roughly life size, measuring 12 to 8 inches. That's 30.5 to 20.3 centimeters. And Chankay funeral masks were not meant to be realistic. Instead, they had simplified features, wonderfully simplified features, such as diamond-shaped eyes, triangular noses, and tiny U-shaped smiles. The wig was almost certainly made from human hair, according to a microscopic analysis the Walters Art Museum undertook in 2017. The Chankay artist who made the mask painted it red using cinnabar, a toxic substance that is brick red, and it's a form of mercury sulfide. Cinnabar, not cinnabon, was frequently used in Andean funeral rituals. The color
What
was
kind of cinnabon, though? That's the question. We going original
poisonous,
recipe? Are we
poisonous.
are we going apple flavor? I'll let the listeners decide.
Yeah, well, I think
I say always a good apple cinnamon.
we're going sardine flavor. I think just something completely
Oh
inedible.
no!
Exactly.
Oh,
And the color was
Botones are edible.
the color was associated with purification and commemoration, the rituals, but the mask was likely not placed on the outside of this bundle burial, as a pattern impression has been left on the cinnabar of the mask. So the cloth was over the mask, probably from being wrapped in
Oh no! So
even,
wait,
even
wait.
more
So you
textiles.
couldn't see her very nice, polite face?
No,
They.
no, I know. No, it's a
No.
shame. Finally, although Chankay culture is not as well known as the Inca, recent research into ceramics the Chankay left behind and the tattoos on their mummified ancestors has revealed that they were a complex society with a high degree of artistic talent.
Yes, remember, kids,
Yeah,
Incas are not ancient. They're medieval,
yeah,
1400s.
yeah. In case you didn't know.
It's not even the same phonemes, Mark. That was just awful. Not even the same phonemes. God.
But I love it. It's almost like yeah, it's that simplification. It's the abstract. It today. It's got a little bit of kawaii to it.
Oh,
sort of,
absolutely. It's super
So
kawaii.
yeah, very good.
I love
Very
it.
good. Mhm. Yeah,
I love it. It's fantastic. Well, sometimes, you'd think that things that are that old are not that cute, but there's plenty of stuff that's old that you look at it and you go, It's like seeing those medieval paintings, like those Dutch medieval paintings, where like the baby's head is this big, but then the face is like that small.
yep, yep.
And you just laugh at it because you think, but people, even though yes, art was paid for, it was commissioned, and it had certain purposes like funerary purposes or
Hmm.
things like that, especially in this case. But it still could be cute.
Yeah,
It still could be funny.
yeah. I mean, look at
Yeah.
her fringe is just adorable.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she has that. I just got rid of my boyfriend fringe for sure. 110%. She went,
Yep.
I'm gonna have a clean break, and she cut her hair herself.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, actually,
absolutely.
funnily enough, this is probably something I'm going to be touching on in a video next week. I'm going to be talking a little bit
I
about.
cut my boyfriend fringe. Yes,
Yeah,
you're doing very good at that, Mark.
yes. I have no friends. That's how much I cut my boyfriend. But I'll cut my boyfriend away. No. It's this idea of accidental booby traps. Funnily enough, so often
Accidental boobies.
accidental boobies, because often
I too.
burials.
Accidental
Often pigments in particular are used in funerary places that are very vivid, and often red is a color that's wanted and used because it can sort of reinvigorate almost especially the corpse itself. But also often these are very toxic substances, and the question is whether or not they're used in order to dissuade people coming back and looting the burial after the fact, or whether they
I thought you were gonna say dissuade people from coming back from the dead. I thought, well, that haircut certainly would.
Well, I don't know. She could be like, I'm, fabulous. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm coming out today, or whatever the song would be. Here come the girls.
No, DMC strike, DMC strike. No.
What's your first story of the show?
Oh, this is such a good one. I've been holding on to this one for a bit. So
Okay.
this one I've been holding on to since last month. This is book finally returned to library. How many years late? Do you want to take a guess?
There's been a few over the years, but
Yeah, there's been quite a few of
yeah.
those, especially in the last few weeks. So
I'm
book finally
gonna-
returned to library. How many years late?
I'm going to say 88.
No, miles per hour, Mark. It's
No.
150 years late. Racking
Oh.
up how many dollars in fines do you think?
Oh, now this is an interesting one. Is this going to be based on today's prices, or is this going to be okay? 1,000.
$20,000.
Oh my god!
Book returned to library 150 years late, racking up $20,000 fine. A book has been returned to a library in Australia after being bricked into a fireplace.
Wow.
And it's only 150 years late. When you're growing up, going to a public library can be a magical experience.
Was
There are tons of books.
Was the book Little Women?
What?
That was really, really sick.
Joey,
Yeah.
you want to put the book in the freezer?
Okay.
Okay.
Was this Joey hiding the
That's a
hiding the?
very interesting point. No, it was not. Do you
Oh,
want to know
okay.
what it is? The
No.
book
Yeah.
was The
Also, yes.
Antiquities of Athens.
Oh. Okay.
I know, like not a bad choice, but
So it
when
wasn't.
you
It
see
wasn't that
it,
someone sort of got to a point and went, "I don't want to know what happens next. I'm gonna
no.
I'm gonna brick it in the wall." Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
No. So obviously, you typically get a few days to return the book, and if you don't alert the library to the fact that you want to keep it beyond those days, you'll be hit with a small fee. Not my library. We have abolished all fees as of COVID. It's just that if you don't bring your books back, they don't let you take anymore. That's
Yeah.
all. Remember,
Mm.
kids, don't steal things from the archives. There have been a
No.
number of some pretty big cases where these fees have ballooned to extraordinarily large numbers. However, over in Australia, a book that has been thought to have been lost has finally been returned after 150 years, and it should have come with a $20,000 late fee. The book Antiquities of Athens was returned on July 27th to a library in Kiama, Australia, after it had been found inside of a tea crate bricked into a sealed fireplace. It was part of the library's first 1,000 books. Wow, and was
Wow.
thought to have been lost. As per AP's report, the book was found by Ross Simmons, who assumed it had been checked out by his great great grandfather, John Simmons. We've never had anything this old come back to us, says one of the librarians.
Yeah.
Follow lots of libraries on social media, and often you'll get things that are maybe 30 or 40 years late when they're cleaned out of estates and things like that, the Kiama
Mm.
library manager said. But this is the oldest thing they've ever got. So according to the Hudson, the late fee for the book would have been around 20,000 to 28,000 Australian dollars,
Mm-hmm.
the AUD.
Mm-hmm.
But since they actually have no record of when it was borrowed, they can't find them. It's just
Ah.
as well that the library no longer charges fines, although it may have gone some way to solving the library's financial woes. The library posted on Facebook. Oh, please go donate to that library, the Kiama
Mm.
Library.
Mm.
Please do that. Um, uh, it is in remarkably good condition, although it's no longer available for loan. So, assumingly, it has finally made its way to its final resting place in the archives, and
Yeah.
that is what should be. And speaking of archives, Mark, there's news on the brick.
Oh, brick news.
So there's brick news, and that
Yeah, go on.
and now we need like the world to come in and spin, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I need hear a microphone. Breaking news, breaking
Yep.
news.
Mhm.
There is brick news, and there is a brick that for those who've not been following the saga, there
Breaking
is a
news.
historical brick that has been protruding out of the ground in our local park. And I found it. I took a picture of it. I sent it to the Archives of Historical Society and said, "Hey, does anybody know anything about this brick? Because it's obviously either a cornerstone or a brick of a building that was here." And so Laura, who is the head of archives, sent me a message saying that they're still trying to get an excavation done. And we joked about putting a little tiny rope around the thing. And I said, if we get funding for this, I'll get Mark in. We'll fly him over. He'll do
Yeah.
a full excavation.
Yeah, a little
Um,
tiny little caution rope, and then
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
yes. Because the way that the brick is actually on a slope, so it's very obvious that there used to be a building where the brick was, because now it's a very small tennis court. So something there was leveled to give way to that tennis court, because you can see the backfill kind of falling out from underneath it because it's over 100 years old now. And so they said that the brick was part of a build. So brick might be older than we think, and that the brick was part of a building that was originally meant for housing inside the park. And that house had a gymnasium, and it also had living quarters, and it had meeting rooms. And that building was demolished in order for not to make way for the tennis court, but for something else in between. And so that building was built in 1899. And so that is how old the brick could be.
The brick. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because so are you describing a sort of communal housing setup then, if there's
Yes,
meeting rooms?
sort of
Right. Okay.
communal housing
Right.
setup,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there is an existing building. There is an outhouse that is still there, and it's the original outhouse that was there, but they have renovated the park or parts of the park several times. They made an extension to the park in 1927. So there's been movement in the park. It's never always been. There used to be a huge, big, beautiful brick bridge as well that maybe the brick could have
And
come from, but
who built the bridge?
Don't say it, Mark. Don't say it. What's your next story, Mark? What's your next story?
Well, actually, I just want to add to Brick News. We spotted, didn't we, that in the background on Star Talk, they have a brick on
That's
the
right.
bookshelf. Yes.
Well, Mark
Yeah.
sent. He's
Yeah.
like, "There's a brick at Star
Yeah.
Talk."
Neil deGrasse
I love how you're
Tyson's
not
podcast.
listening to the important information or whatever Chuck is saying. You're like,
No, I was
"The
listening.
brick,
I was
the
listening. It was an so I spotted it on it was an interview with Adam Savage around the launch of his book Every Tool's a Hammer, and I happened to notice this brick in the background, and it's fairly worn, but it's an Empire brick, interestingly. Well, it's called Empire, and you
So was
wondering,
it part of the planetarium originally? Is that what it was?
that's a fair question. I'm tempted to. In fact, I will. I'm going to email podcast to podcast and just say, "Excuse me, we need this. The people need to know." Yeah, and
I do need to know.
yes.
You need to put Isa from Still Give, like desperately pushing the elevator, going, "They have to know. They have to know."
My second story of the show is this is the story at the bottom of which I can see at the very least the first story that I mentioned, and this headline on the Life Science website, the same website, is Rock Crystal Scraper. This is a 45,000-year-old Neanderthal tool that shows that they had an eye for beauty, form, and color.
Are we sure it's Neanderthal, not my good old buddies, the Denisovans?
The Denisovans, interestingly, there's an interesting thing going on there, but they're fairly certain these are Neanderthals. Yes.
Okay. I guess because of the region and time period.
It'll be the region. It'll be the context that the
I love
people's
the
found in.
Denisovans. I love a Denisovan. As me, the president of the Sweaty Bitches Club, ever since people were like, "Oh yes, like the Denisovans had like better temperature regulation. They could live in colder temperatures." I just went, "My people."
They had that's your real cave.
It's true.
Yeah, there's a slight in joke there, folks. But yes, that's your real cave.
Yeah.
Now also they had serious eyebrows. Denisovans.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, big eyebrows.
Oh, I did too, but the 90s happened up here and they're all gone.
They migrated to the top of your head. So a chance find of rare rock crystal tools a century ago, this is I think in 1931, paved the way for a better understanding of Neanderthals today. This is a rock crystal scraper, a stone tool made from microcrystalline quartz found in the Dordogne region of southwestern France between 45,000 and 80,000 years ago. So around about a century ago, American archaeologists at the cave site in France unearthed a cache of 7 rock crystal tools which were made by Neanderthals. Sorry, this cache made me giggle. It's like, you're in France, you would call it a cache.
Actually, it's cash. And you get cash.
Yeah. Cash. Cash. In ma poche. Dans ma poche.
Mais où vais-je mettre toutes mes affaires?
Dans mes poches. J'adore les poches. Poche.
Neanderthals, made by Neanderthals. The discovery was one of the first to prove that Neanderthals were not unintelligent brutes. That many scientists of the time, they do stress here, believed that they were. The rare quartz scraper was found at the archaeological site of Abri des Mervilles in the Dordogne region of France in 1924. 1924, okay, so literally 100 years ago, by the team from the American School of Prehistoric Research, now the department at Harvard University, led by George McCurdy. The unique tool is now in the collection of France's National Archaeological Museum. The Neanderthals typically crafted their stone tools from flint or chert because these rocks would predictably fracture into sharp edges. But a small handful of Neanderthal sites across Europe have yielded tools made from microcrystalline quartz, also known as rock crystal, resulting in stunningly clear scrapers and points. According to McCurdy's, there you go, this is where I got that date from, April 1931 excavation report, so it took him 7 years to publish. This was the first rock crystal tool the team discovered. It was transparent but yellow tinged, and it may have been used as a combination scraper and point. Scraper being we sort of call them scrapers, but basically we think they're used for processing hides and this kind of thing. Yeah. In
Yeah.
addition to 6 other rock crystal tools, McCurdy found tiny rock crystal chips that meant the tools were likely fashioned on site. That is known as debitage. The rubbish left behind from stone tool and the chipping away of rocks like flint. The rocks may have tumbled downstream from the headwaters of the Vézières, a tributary to the Dordogne River that runs near the site. Abri de Merville has never been precisely dated. However, based on stratigraphy, tool types, and the presence of a Neanderthal molar, the rock crystal tools were likely made between 45 and 80,000 years ago. McCurdy's discovery proved that Neanderthals, not modern humans, namely Homo sapiens, were the first to create innovative stone tools from rock crystal, a conclusion that surprised many scientists of the time. So this, I think, is part of a, and they sort of go on to talk about what people thought about Neanderthals at the time, but I think this is part of sort of a feature series that they're doing. In fact, both these articles, I think, are part of this feature series. This was published 4 days ago, so in that sense, this is why it's popped up on my feed. But I just think it's a cool little find, and it's part of my ongoing interest in the rehabilitation of Neanderthals, and obviously, people like Rebecca Ragg-Sykes would be very pleased to know that more people are noticing this stuff. But it reminds me of some modern flint nappers, who make stone tools out of things like milk bottles and this kind of thing. If you've seen those, but they're quite cool, and again, quite delicately made. I think you'd have a hard time saying that was anything other than elegant and pretty. I mean, elegant. They've even found this sort of seam of yellow running through the crystal, and they sort of made a central point of it. So, a sense of symmetry, a sense of beauty, a sense of the aesthetics. Neanderthals were humans, folks.
They were bloody gorgeous.
They were.
My
also,
second story was...
sorry. Just a quick aside. I was going to pick another prehistoric story, but I'll chuck it in the links below. This is a nuclear site where an excavation is ongoing that will change prehistory.
Oh, it's going to change history.
Yeah, rewriting history. It's an interesting one. It's a multi-period
That was going to be
site.
I had a bonus story for rewriting history. I actually had rewrite history.
Okay. Well, this one is this one is a multi-period site. There's also a really gorgeous little medieval pilgrim badge that looks like a cough lozenge. So it just makes you want to lick it. Yeah.
What is the pilgrimage badge for? Did they say?
This is on the site of a multi-period. In this instance, it's a pilgrimage badge that may have been dropped by a visitor to an abbey, which was Leiston Abbey, not too far, I think, from
Leiston Abbey, if not.
Yeah. So yes,
not the housing case of a good finger. Wait on my pilgrimage to see my finger. Delicious. So I love, could you just imagine how cracked out that was back in the day? You'd just be like, oh, well, what you doing on holiday? Oh, I'm going on pilgrimage to see the finger of St. Alban. That was a perfectly normal thing to do. And just be like, I'm going to go see, or I mean, there is some Dark Souls stuff out there where you see like the jawbone of St. Mary and things like that. You just go, ew.
Yeah.
And it's inside like a golden inlay with like a black face. It's really cool. But
and when you get to Protestants and Catholics, boiling each other alive, there's all sorts of stuff that's scooped out of the soup bowl at the end of the process.
Ooh, it's delicious.
Just,
the RKO soup.
What? You may proceed.
I shall proceed now. Proceeding. I was going to. So I had one story which was, and it said this tiny organ played a far more profound role.
So I beg your pardon.
and I just went tiny organ, awesome. So I'm thinking, innocent me. I'm thinking like a little like doo-doo-doo, like that type of organ. No, it ended up being a body part. So I.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, which body part?
No, it's very unexciting. I was talking about the thalamus. But instead, I saw this one, which gives an opportunity to mention it. So, clear evidence, ancient DNA from Chilean mummies reveals who brought smallpox to the Americas.
Mm,
Delicious.
mm-hmm.
Colonialism. Smallpox is an age-old scourge with a terrible history caused by the variola virus. I almost said areola virus. It's thought to have been responsible for 4 million total deaths of indigenous communities in South America after Europeans arrived. Communities with no immune protection against the virus. Previously, the evidence has been a historical paper trail, and this is why this is important, because remember, kids, you can write anything. Marco Polo wrote a lot of stuff that wasn't real. You can write anything, but you have to prove it. And so this definitely proves it, and that's why this is really important. Now, 500 years later, we have the first solid genetic evidence that it was indeed smallpox contracted from Europeans that led to this catastrophic population decline in indigenous communities. Researchers from the institution in Ireland and Chile have discovered the variola virus DNA in 2 naturally mummified corpses recovered in northern Chile. The remains of people who have died between 1492, so exact timing, and 1631 BCE. As explored in a new study published in Science, the virus BC. Oh, sorry, CE.
Yeah.
CE.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless Columbus was, hanging around that long.
Great Scott!
He might have. He
Yeah.
might have had a time machine.
Yep.
The virus genomes are almost identical, suggesting both individuals were infected at the same time. So they might have infected each other, and placed the disease in South America very soon after the Europeans arrived. 1492. That's pretty good. It's long-awaited breakthrough for ancient genetic evidence that's so often difficult to find on human remains after significant time has passed. So this is not unique to smallpox, but to ancient pathogens, humans, and other species broadly. Biological anthropologist Costanza de la Fuente Castro from University of Chile said. We're working with DNA that is low in concentration and has accumulated damage over time. This is affecting our ability to recover it, but it's also challenging to analyze. And they have a wonderful DNA chart. They show you where the DNA came from and what they're actually looking at. And so they show all the chart of all the genomes. It's very, very cool. Virus lineage was named Cam9 by the researchers, while it died out well before smallpox was eventually eradicated. But is it though? What is it though? When the team built up a family tree of the virus, which you can see on the website, the strain fitted neatly between medieval European strains and modern variants. There you go. So you can think of it a bit like finding the remains of actual people, because that's how they do the genealogical DNA trees. Remember, Ancestries.com is not real. You're not a Viking.
So, a new piece of research published in the journal Cell, open access, free to download, go and check it out for yourself, has confirmed that the genetic picture in Iron Age Scandinavia was a complex one, with people coming into the area as well as leaving it. In other words, even for Norse-speaking peoples in the Viking Age, calling yourself genetically a pure Viking was not as easy as the TV adverts may say.
My name is Alex. I thought I was half Polish, half Caribbean. This is the moment my ancestry DNA revealed I'm actually a Viking.
Regardless of Viking being a job description as opposed to a human origin story, this is not a surprise. People are always from somewhere else. After all, we're all related to each other. We're human beings. I mean, the alternative is that Iron Age Scandinavians somehow sprung out of the ground, fully formed.
It's true you don't see many dwarf women. And in fact, they are so alike in voice and appearance that they're often mistaken for dwarf men. It's the beards. And this in turn has given rise to the belief that there are no dwarf women. And that dwarfs just spring out of holes in the ground.
People will know they have descended from Europeans found in Chile after colonizers began arriving. Only here, it's virus DNA and not human DNA. That's all.
Yeah.
And the rest of the article goes on to talk about how the virus has changed and how they know that it was the original smallpox versus smallpox of today.
Well, okay. Yeah, it's good. I guess it's good to have that
Evidence.
piece of the puzzle.
Evidence.
Yeah, evidence. Well, I have 2 quick bonuses before you
Oh my
share your
goodness.
bonus. Yeah, 2 quick ones.
Oh, I'll share my bonus.
Uh, so,
My bonum.
hey,
Mark has both. Mark has 2 bonum.
yep, yep. So the first one is this. I think you might like this one. This one fits firmly into "Can you or will you lick it?" So this
Can
is
you lick it?
yeah. Can you lick it? Yes, you can, because this is divers who have found a 162-year-old Guinness drink, or maybe a crate of Guinness, in a shipwreck just off the English coast.
Ooh, I'd lick that. I'd
Yeah.
lick it.
The article says, how far would you travel for a pint of Guinness? If the answer is to the bottom of the sea, you might be in luck. There's just one catch. The pint in question is 162 years old. When Belgian underwater photographer Stéphane Pani discovered a bottle buried in a shipwreck off the coast of Dover in 2025, he had no idea what he had found. He just knew something that had caught his eye about it. When Pani and his friend Eddie Huzi surfaced, a quick rinse revealed the familiar Guinness branding. The bottle dates to 1864. So they reckon it's quite likely drinkable. And he says, seeing the size of the case, it's almost definitely a case of 24 bottles, and there may be more cases.
How fermented, though?
Probably.
Because remember, that Roman wine, absolutely not potable.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, that was, like red ink.
The cheese, though.
So they
Some
said here,
Pompeii bread and some nice nice bog cheese.
there is a possibility, they say, that it's still drinkable. The question is if the seawater has come into the bottles. So yeah. And the second quickie is I just couldn't resist this. Giant lobsters appearing in Pompeii. Yeah.
Again, Pompeii. So
Yeah.
now they're the lobsters of Pompeii.
Yeah, the lobsters of Pompeii. 30 giant lobster sculptures have arrived in Pompeii as British pop artist Philip Colbert unveils his largest ever installation, blending mythology and contemporary culture with, I guess, crustaceans. The exhibition transforms one of the world's most iconic ancient sites into a dialogue between the past and the present. And the first lobster that I'm looking at here has an ionic column for one leg with big black boots. It has a sort of a brick wall for another leg, and then it's wearing, I think, part of a colosseum around its neck, like a ruff, and it's got great big red pincers. So, yeah. That's a bonus.
We need the pincer noises for all the lobsters in the chat. Just going.
Yeah. Press F to pay your respect.
Click F between the claws for respect.
Yeah. So yeah, lobster Pompeii and Pompeii lobster. I couldn't resist it.
The Pompeii of lobsters.
Yeah.
I had a very small bonus story to fit on the bingo card of we'll rewrite history because nothing like it has been seen before at the Ness of Brodgar. Potential quote unquote new chapter for the Ness of Brodgar, that's in Scotland, has been unveiled at the Time Team World premiere at the Orkney Theatre, described only as an anomaly until now. Recent Geofizz.
Yep.
Surveys has been uncovered an exciting new feature, which has the potential to change the way we think about the ancient site forever.
Okay.
Though we cannot be certain as to what the anomaly is until it's excavated. Our good old friend Dr. John Gator, hooray!
Okay.
Who is one of the original Time Team members at Geophysics Expect, is optimistic. The circular anomaly hints at a possible stone setting.
Okay.
We might have the Stonehenge of the thing is that we already have the Ring of Brodgar. Why do we need the Stonehenge of Brodgar? The possible stone settings around the edge with a large feature in the center. I can't do John's specific accent, but he says that there's a slight risk. It could be a garden folly, could be World War II gun placement. To be honest, I hope it's an archaeological site and could be, I don't know, a Bronze Age burial, but it could be our wildest dreams. A stone circle. Dun, dun.
I mean, yes, everyone dreams of a stone circle. Before you even become an archaeologist, everyone has that dream. And It's,
So everybody has that dream. Cue the druids going.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's the extent to which
But he
it's
says
like-
ultimately, until we dig it, we don't know. That's it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I just thought it was really funny. And again, change the course of history.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
it? We don't know.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to dig it.
Yeah. Anyway, on that lovely note, that has been an Alkio scoop. And now we know that Scoop is linked to scabies. We shall get ourselves tested and checked.
It's just an inflammation. You can't do anything about it.
Well, I don't know. I'd much rather not have the scabies. It's been a rough week. So in that sense, yeah. Do you have anything interesting going on over at Legends and Lectures?
We have quite a lot of stuff. We have 3 interviews lined up. So the first one is Dr. Jonas Siegel, who is he has a book called The Creation of the Modern Museum. I'm going to talk about how modern museums came to be and
I can tell you.
why they're okay. Go for it, Mark. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Basically, a really wealthy person just stopped one day and went,
The private collections are a thing,
Yeah.
but they're actually not as common as you might think.
No, but
And
someone had
really
to muse.
the beginning of the Modern Museum really begins with the Louvre, which predated the
Oh.
British Museum by a few years. But it's really the Louvre and then obviously the British Museum,
Yeah.
which got stuff from private collections and for people who paid for them
Mm-hmm.
and decided to have them as curios. So lots of curio cabinets and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Also,
it's a
Denmark plays a role as well.
Yes,
Mm.
and so he says, we have Dr. Jonas Siegel talking about the creation of the modern museum specifically, because yes, there were museums in antiquity, but specifically we're talking about the idea of a public museum and
Mm.
people coming to visit, like pay and visit for the public good, for the public viewing.
Yeah.
So yes, there were ancient museums, but so specifically modern museum.
Okay.
As a thing that you would go and visit, like, oh, have a nice day out, have your lunch,
Yes.
and go see the Arms and Armor section in the Met, which is my favorite.
Yep.
Well, always has been, and the way that it's laid out is just so delicious. But and then we are also going to be talking about the history of medieval things in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we have the history of climate change as well from a scientist. So
Okay.
please look forward to those. They'll be happening. We put out Legend Lectures on every other Sunday now, and as a regular schedule. So all you have to do is go to the Legend and Lectures channel and sign up. It's free. So please enjoy, and please enjoy our back catalog too.
Absolutely. Yes. There's loads to see. Great. Well, folks, you've got your homework. Head on over. Until next time, though, do take care. Bye-bye.
I thought you were gonna also mention what's it called, the thing that you're doing with Andy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Duff,
No.
whatever.
I can mention it. Yeah, we're also doing this thing, me and Andy. Looking at Mr. Hancock, and I think we've managed to make it kind of interesting. So take a look. There you go.